If you're a faculty member at a university, you're likely concerned about publishing your research papers in reputable journals quickly and consistently each year. Here's a simple trick that can nearly guarantee the acceptance of your research paper in high-impact factor journals. Most researchers conduct research, write a paper, and submit to a journal. Then they wait for review reports that can take anywhere between several weeks to a couple of years. Instead of doing this, you can reverse engineer the process. This will maximize your chances of getting published. For this, you will need to understand the difference between normal and special issues of journals. A normal issue of a journal can have 6-8 papers on several different topics. But a special issue addresses a niche topic in each field. A special issue will always have a very narrow focus compared to a normal issue. Special issues address a specific gap in literature. Many academic journals publish special issues edited by guest editors. Guest editors propose a special issue to editors of a given journal. If the proposal gets accepted, they go ahead and send out calls for papers. You can find calls for papers for special issues on journals' websites. Most calls ask you to submit an abstract initially. If you find a call relevant, submit an abstract that addresses the main points of the call. You don't have to address all the points. And you don't have to have the whole paper written at this stage. A well-written abstract of 250,300 words will do the job. Send an initial email to guest editors to show your interest. Then send them the abstract. If your abstract directly addresses their call, the editors will be happy to accept your work. Special issues typically have a narrow focus, so guest editors usually don't expect a high volume of submissions. You can easily stand out with a little bit of effort. Once guest editors accept your abstract, you can start working on your paper. You will have enough time to write a first draft. Most guest editors ask you to submit an initial draft so they can give you feedback on it. Prepare a draft, submit it to guest editors, receive their feedback, and revise your draft. At this stage, the guest editors have invested a decent amount of time and effort in your work. They wouldn't want you to fail. It's likely they will send your work to sympathetic reviewers and not a random reviewer. The reason is the guest editors also have to meet deadlines too. Sometimes guest editors are up for tenure or are applying for grants themselves. And publishing a special issue of a journal makes one's CV impressive. They wouldn't want a reviewer that throws a spanner in the works. If you follow the above steps, you will receive encouraging review reports. Reviewers will, of course, ask you to make some revisions. But it's unlikely that your paper will get rejected at this stage. Don't get wedded to a particular line of argumentation. Try to address as many comments of guest editors and reviewers as possible. So the trick is to find a guest editor who needs to publish your work and is invested in your work more than you are. By following these steps, you'll greatly increase your chances of getting published and turning your research into a valuable contribution to your field. Good luck!